to another Fast Food Toy Reviews video review. Today we have Star Trek, says 16 amazing looking movie toys released by Burger King all the way back in 2009. Let's get them opened up and have a closer look. First up in the set is Spock, but this is the more modern version of Spock as opposed to the other version of Spock, which is played by Leonard Nimoy. So every toy in this set is electronic and has like a voice chip or a sound chip. And on the back there's a little battery tab, so you would pull that out just like that. And then there's a little button right here, and you give that a push and have a listen.
A rescue attempt would be illogical. A rescue attempt would be illogical.
And so what I find really cool about this set is that it's actual voices from the actors in the movie, from the 2009 Star Trek movie.
A rescue attempt would be illogical.
So cool. Here, one more time. You ready?
A rescue attempt would be illogical.
So a rescue attempt would be illogical.
A rescue attempt would be illogical.
Next up we have Uhura. That's right, Uhura. You want me to spell that for you? U-H-U-R-A. It's a very unique name, but it's iconic. I mean, this is such a cool set. So on the back there's a little button. Have a listen.
Captain, we're being hailed. Captain, we're being hailed.
She's saying, Captain, we're being hailed.
Captain, we're being hailed. Captain, we're being hailed.
Awesome, right? So there you go. It's Uhura. Next up we have Bones. Yes, he's one of my all-time favorite Star Trek characters because he has a very cool comedic presence to him, which really makes him pop as an actor. I love this stuff. And I can't remember the guy. I think his name is Carl Urban. I can't remember. I think it's Carl Urban that plays the role of Bones in the movie series from 2009 and up. So have a listen. You ready? Here we go.
I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
That's awesome.
I'm a doctor, not a physicist. I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
Okay, all right. One more time.
I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
That's so awesome. Next up in the set is Sulu. Now, so far in the set, we've seen some fairly accurate toys, but look at this one. This one is pretty spot on from the character in the movie. This one's really, really good. It nails it pretty good. So the other three, like Spock and Uhura and Bones, they're not bad. Well, Uhura's pretty accurate, Spock's pretty accurate, but I think, in my opinion, this one's really spot on. So have a listen to what Sulu says. Ready?
Warp 3, sir. Warp 3, sir. Warp 3, sir.
So it says Warp 3, sir. He's just saying it really fast. Here, I'll get it closer.
Warp 3, sir.
Warp 3, sir. And that's actually the voice chip from the movie character. That's kind of cool.
Warp 3, sir.
Warp,
Warp 3, sir.
Warp 3, sir. So let me show you a little secret here. So if you've made it this far into the video, you're really going to appreciate this little behind the scenes. So look at this. See that? So sometimes I'll briefly explain. I use like a little Dremel mini drill, and what I'll do is I'll use this and I will cut out a hole where the batteries are if I can access them, simply because, long story short, even though they have screws, you can take the screws out no problem, but that doesn't mean that the two pieces of the figure come apart. Like, you can't break this apart like this. And so ultimately, because they squeeze it and press it when they put the toy together, it fuses in there, and you ultimately end up breaking the toy apart and destroying it. So I found a workaround somewhat. Like, I guess you're destroying the toy, but not really, because it still works and it still looks great and it's not all broken apart. I just cut out a little section right there. I pull the batteries out that way, and then I put two new ones in, and there you go.
Warp 3, sir.
Next up is Chekhov, and look at Chekhov. So look at these characters. They're pretty spot on to the movies. I can really appreciate it. They have a really good resemblance to the actual actors from the movie. All right, so anyway, you ready? We're going to push the button. Have a listen.
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
Oh, try it again.
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
One more time.
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
So basically, he's just pronouncing his name because it's hard to pronounce. So let's see if we can focus in on there, and then you can read it here. It says Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir. So right there, that's his name, and that's what he says, which I think is kind of awesome. So it helps you pronounce it properly.
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
One of my all-time favorite actors is Simon Pegg, and he plays Scotty in Star Trek, and he knocks it out of the park. He's one of my favorite actors, and he's such a well-rounded actor, and he does this one perfectly, in my opinion. So on the back, there's the button. Have a listen.
I'm doing an horse's door, Captain.
That's perfect.
I'm doing an horse's door, Captain.
I don't even think I need to repeat it. One more time.
I'm doing an horse's door, Captain.
I love it. So there you go. It's Scotty. Next up we have Captain Kirk. So like I said before, the accuracy to the characters in the movies are really good. This one, not so much. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. But the other ones, all of them are pretty much better. But it looks okay. At least they got the hair color right. I mean, it's not bad. The facial structure is okay. But this one's a little bit more cartoony, because I think who plays this one? Chris Pine, I think. So it's not terrible, but the other ones are just much better. But anyway, let's push the button. Have a listen.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
He's basically just saying Kirk to Enterprise.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
And it sounds accurate, so it's like I said, it's a movie clip, so it sounds cool.
Kirk to Enterprise.
There you go, Kirk. Next up, we have the original Spock, better known as Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy. But they have it. Listen, let me show you this. Look right here. It says original Spock, so that just means the Leonard Nimoy version of Spock. And you can see it's pretty accurate. I would say this is really good. It's not too bad. I like it. So listen to what he has to say.
Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper.
One of the most iconic lines in movie history.
Live long and prosper.
Okay, we got to do it one more time. You ready? Here we go.
Live long and prosper.
Next up, we have Spock's ship. That's right, it's Spock's ship. We'll spin it around for you. And again, you can see where I jostled the batteries around in there and got it to work. So the batteries were perfectly fine. I didn't have to take it apart. So a few of these, I got away with doing that, and it made them work. So win for me, right? So this is a cool, unique looking ship. I like this one. So obviously, there's the red button. We'll push it. Have a listen.
You're going to be able to fly this thing, right? You're going to be able to fly this thing, right?
You're going to be able to fly this thing, right?
You're going to be able to fly this thing, right?
That's so cool. And it sounds just like Chris Pine.
You're going to be able to fly this thing, right?
Awesome. So awesome.
You're going to be able to fly this thing, right?
Next up in the set is the USS Kelvin. So it's one of the Star Trek spaceships. And it came with some stickers that I had to put on right there. One on the side there and there. And then all you do is push this down and have a listen.
Red alert! Red alert!
He's saying red alert.
Red alert! Red alert!
Right underneath there is the little speaker.
Red alert! Red alert!
That's awesome. Next up in the set, we have the Warbird. So does anybody know who flies the Warbird? What race? What alien race flies this ship? It's a little trivia for you. So check this thing out. It looks awesome, right? I love it. We'll flip it around here. So you can see another insider thing. So sometimes when you pull these tabs out, they don't work because there's some goop on there, maybe some like acid rust. But if you bevel those holes out a little bit, you can get a little flathead screwdriver in there. You can jostle those batteries around, and there's still a little juice in there. You can get them working. That's what I've done with several of these toys. All I've had to do, instead of taking them apart, I've popped those open a little bit wider, got in there and jostled those little batteries around, and they actually still work. So up here at the top is a little button. You give that a push and have a listen. It's got like a zooming sound. Pretty awesome, right? So there you go. It's the Warbird. Next, we have the hover bike that you see at the very beginning of the movie where Chris Pine, or Kirk, is flying from the police, I guess. It's a really cool, iconic opening scene. I love it. It's one of my more favorite opening scenes to a movie. With this hover bike, it's sweet. So if you haven't seen this movie, you got to check it out. Anyway, back here is the little button. You give that a push. Have a listen. It's got such a cool sound. I totally dig it. Ready? One more time. Oh, yeah. This next one is very cool. It's the USS Enterprise, one of the most famous spaceships in the history of all movies. There's not very many you can name that are more famous than the USS Enterprise. So it came with some stickers I had to put on. A sticker there, a couple on the thrusters, and then one on the front right there. Let me show you that USS Enterprise, NCC 1701. And right there at the top, that's the button. You give it a push. Have a listen. It's just basically a whooshing, swooshing sound. Almost sounds like waves of water, right? I don't know. It does. It sounds like you're on a beach. Anyway, it's cool because it's the Enterprise. I think most Star Trek fans will really like this one. This is the communicator. It's very basic and very simple, but you flip it open right here and it reveals a little button. You give this a push. Have a listen.
Beam me up. Beam me up.
He's saying, beam me up. So again, that's Captain Kirk saying,
Beam me up. Beam me up.
beam me up, Scotty, right?
Beam me up. Beam me up.
Absolutely love it.
Beam me up.
This one is called the tricorder, which I think is kind of cool. So you flip this open right here, and then it came with a little sticker you had to put on. Let me show you the little sticker right there. And there is the button. Have a listen.
Start date 2248.42. Start date 2248.42.
So you can hear what he's saying, star date, right? This one's finicky, but I got it to work.
Start date 2248.42.
2848.42, that's awesome. One more time, you ready?
Start date 2248.42.
Awesome. So out of all 16 toys, this last one, which is the shuttle, I couldn't get to work. So 15 out of 16, considering I don't think that's too bad going into this. I thought most of these probably aren't going to work, but I managed to get 15 out of the 16 to work. And this one even had a little sticker on there, which you put on right there. On the back, little button, you would push that and activate it. So going back to what I said earlier in the video, some of these didn't want to come apart, and if you tried to take them apart, it would ruin them. So there's a prime example of what I'm talking about. So I did manage to get the screws out, and I did manage to get it apart. I did replace the batteries, and the reason why I didn't jostle the batteries around this way like I did with some of the other ones is because it looked like there was a wire or something in there, so I didn't want to mess with that, so I just opted to take it apart. And as you can see, I did get it apart. I messed it up pretty good, and ultimately, even with the new batteries that I replaced in there, I couldn't get it to work. So anyway, I will show you. It shows you right on the checklist what it says, and it basically says approaching the drop zone. So I'm not sure who says it or how it sounds, but that's what it reads, approaching the drop zone. So if you were to get this one to work, or you have a working one, you push the little button back here, approaching the drop zone. There you have it, everyone. Star Trek, set of 16 awesome collectibles released by Burger King back in 2009. This is a great set. I absolutely love it. I love all the electronic gimmicks. I got them all to work except for just the one, and I showed you a couple little secrets of what I do to make some of these toys work sometimes. These are just awesome. They're really good representations of the characters from the movie, and you got some spaceships. Cool, you got the USS Enterprise and stuff. This is awesome. I love this set. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. See you next time.